negative, however, at this point, it's not playing. You're going to have to put it up with a microphone.
Question for you. Where do you get all those?
I get them from Herschel.
You get them from Herschel.
And he buys them from the money that's donated.
From previous purchases and...
Previous purchases.
So that's how you can afford to hand some out for free?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, it makes sense. That's good.
Yeah, I think it's like, I couldn't tell you, you could ask Herschel, but it's like 4 to 1. If we sell one, we can give
You can give away 4? Oh, good, good.
For peace and justice.
Yeah!
I have to confess that I've been working a lot of overtime this week and I've been pretty tired. And I just didn't really come down here very prepared tonight to talk about much of anything, but we have Dan Handelman here. He'd like to talk a little bit about police accountability, so we'll let him talk.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Handelman tonight. I'm wearing my Portland Cop Watch hat, even though it doesn't say that on it. Yeah, we talked, I think, last month about this report that came out about the police review board here in Portland. It's called the Independent Police Review Division. And the report said, hey, you know what? Portland has police officers investigating other police officers, and people want to see somebody other than police officers investigate police when there's misconduct at hand. You agree with that? Yeah! All right, so the mayor commissioned this report, and he said, I agree with that recommendation, and I think when the Citizen Review Committee, there's 9-member citizen board, tells the IPR staff to investigate, they should do it. And apparently, the auditor, who's in charge of the system, doesn't want that to happen. So what we need to do is turn out as many people as we can Thursday afternoon, February 28th at 2 p.m. down at City Hall to say, we think that somebody other than police should investigate when police commit misconduct. So I got a flyer here that explains it. We actually have like an 8-minute YouTube video up on YouTube with links from our site, portlandcomplex.org, that you can watch and learn more about the whole police review board. One of the main findings of the report was that they do a lot of their business behind closed doors, as opposed to doing the public's business in public, letting the public know what's happening in their government. And I think one of the things that we need to do is make sure that we want to see an open and transparent process where we, the people, get to say, this is what we expect of our police. You agree with that? Yeah! All right, great. Well, I hope that a lot of you will be down there Thursday at 2 o'clock. We want to pack City Hall. There's the consultant, Eileen Luna Fireball, is coming all the way from Arizona to present the report. We're going to have a whole bunch of testimony up front, I hope, from people from leadership from community groups who are from a lot of the affected communities, most affected by police misconduct. You've been walking with us shoulder to shoulder, year after year, after police shootings and police tasering and police beatings, and we're going to put an end to it. So thanks very much, and we'll hope to see you on Thursday.
I've got an announcement I think most of you already know about, but I am going to be talking about this more and more as time draws closer, and that is the March 15th mass mobilization. That's a Saturday. That's in about 3 weeks from tomorrow, and takes place at the South Park blocks. And that's going to be an all-day event from 10 to 6. There will be action tents in the park, and there's a march and rally at 2 o'clock. So tell your friends, tell your family, get on down there and make some noise. And I think it's time to make some noise tonight.
You're working overtime. Not on me, all right. Otherwise,
Oh, because she's an old lady. No, it's such a long story. But I feel sort of stressed out. Okay. You know, that is so
Standing everybody, we're the Portland People Response Coalition. And we're here every Friday evening to try to stop any new wars from being started. The goal is the impeachment of George Bush and Dick Cheney for war crimes. Or violations against the Constitution that they committed, turn it down. It's time to impeach now! Impeach now! Impeach now! Impeach now!
Talk about high schools in
So I suppose you all heard about the big bad missile test that was successful this week. They finally got one right. They finally managed to hit their target. But you know, I was really wishing that they would fail again, because that's all we need is a successful test like this to justify more spending on military, on more military projects, toys, whatever you want to call it. Big expensive military toys.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of this.
I don't know how much it would cost. I don't know what they're spending on this so-called Star Wars defense, but it's certainly running into tens, if not hundreds of billions of dollars, on top of all the other big, expensive items that they've got. That's not what we need to spend our money on. There are so many other things at home that we need that will provide much more security, a much better life for everybody than a new military toy. Money for things like health care, jobs, education.
I want the lightweight bike with the, not really skinny.
Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. So last week, the House failed to pass the Protect America Act. You can always tell it's the bad people legislation if it sounds good. Anyway, I would I think the hallmark of the Bush administration is lack of accountability. And they want more lack of accountability.
because the government is supposed to represent our interests, and they're obviously not doing that. Well, the government only rules when they consent to the governed. I say we stop consenting. I say we take our voice back. We no longer let those who are supposedly representing us lie about what we want. I say, hey, I say a general strike. One of my roommates works in a call center, go figure. And someone called in the other day and told they're filling all the information on all the various forms. She was talking about how hard it was. She's a small contractor, runs a small business. How the price of gas was going up again, and how she was barely keeping her shirt on. And she didn't know barely keeping her shirt on financially there, dear. Phone down. She didn't know how she was gonna make it. She didn't know the words for it. She didn't know what she wanted, but she said, "Hey, we should just all not go to work one day. That would show them." Middle class America is calling for a freaking general strike. How bad is the economy when that happens? Have you ever been to the grocery store lately? Yeah. I have, and I almost cried. Loaf of bread that a year ago I bought for 98 cents is now $1.18, and that's at Winco. They're worker owned. How much of your price has been jacked up at Safeway and Fred Meyer? More, yeah.
How for you?
I can't think of a segue from this, but Victory Gardens. Yeah! The reason for Victory Gardens wasn't because all the farmers went to war. The farmers didn't get drafted. There was an exemption for them. Victory Gardens were because we didn't have the oil to ship the food from the farmers to the cities. And once again, we don't have the oil to ship the food from the farmers to the cities because our farms are now in China and Brazil, not in Oregon. Let's grow our own food. So we don't have to pay for it. Hey, and one more thing before I hand the microphone back to somebody else here. 2 people just joined us in our walk today. So 3! Hey, even more. Everything to go. When you write to politicians, they have this formula. Every phone call equals 5 people agree with that person. Every letter equals 25 people agree with that person. Well, we're a small group, but if we had convinced 3 people to walk with us today, how many people have we convinced ideologically today? I'd say that's a success. Who wants to make a vote?
You don't even gotta convince them, all you gotta do is influence them. Just make an influence and impact.
within earshot to know that there is a mass mobilization against the war. March 15th at the Saturday, it's an all-day event at the South Park Blocks. Be there if you're against this war, if you're for a lot of social justice. Out of Iraq, bring them back. Troops all now. Out of Iraq, bring them back. Troops all now. Out of Iraq, bring them back. Troops all now. Out of Iraq, bring them back. Troops all now. Out of Iraq, bring them back. Troops all now. Out of Iraq, bring them back. Troops all now. Troops home now! What it looks like now is announcement time, and I don't think I really have any announcements, but if anyone has any, now's the time. Well, thank you all for coming down. Looks like the weather cooperated with us a lot more than I expected.
Nice, you guys.
How many can be accomplished? No, just kidding. No, there's another event about the 5th anniversary of the occupation invasion of Iraq that's going to be happening on Wednesday, the 19th of March, which is the actual anniversary. And it's going to start in Terry Shrunk Plaza at 11 a.m. Then we're going to move over to the World Trade Center. Then we're going to move right up here on Broadway. And the significance is each of those locations houses a elected representative. We got Smith, White and Smith and Wu, in that order. And we're going to have a giant banner at each location that reads Iraq for Iraqis Now, US Out, hanging from a scissor lift across from them. So we'd like to see as many people as possible come out. And I think I floated to PPRC a question about endorsing and co-sponsoring. And
I think we're endorsing, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, PPRC. And so the Peace and Justice Works Iraq Affinity Group is organizing that. And then we'll be back in Terry Shrunken from 4 to 6 that day. So if you can't come down in the middle of the day, come down in the evening.
All right.
Thank you.